Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to the podcast. Man, I am coming off of one of the most powerful weeks of my entire life. When you have those moments, I feel so blessed as I'm saying this out loud because I've had so many of them over the last few years as I have put myself in new and different situations and circumstances and rooms specifically tied to the growth work I've been doing in my life and in my relationships and in my health and in my business. And gosh, I just like had this overwhelming sense of gratitude just like drop in as I was saying this. But you have those moments where you're like, oh damn, nothing is ever going to be the same after that. That is how I feel coming off of this past week. So, I have been so lucky to connect with so many incredible humans over the last 7 years since I started doing this work. And some of the people that I am closest to in my life right now have come into my life in that time frame. And actually one of my favorite beliefs is that some of the most important people in my life are people I haven't met yet. And damn, if that doesn't just keep on ringing true every year as I continue to step into like the truest, most authentic version of me. And I continue to do this powerful work with so many incredible humans. And what led me to this past week and this connection with these humans is exactly that. I have gotten to know a couple of other coaches really well. One of them was actually one of my very first coaches back in, I don't even know, maybe 2019 or 2020. And then I have since gotten to know the other one over the last year or so. And we decided a couple of months ago that we were going to come together with our husbands and spend a part of a week masterminding our lives and our businesses and coaching and pouring into each other and receiving so much. And I I'm still and I feel like I'm almost kind of still speechless about the experience and what happened in that room and what it brought up for me that I wasn't expecting, which is that I think the coolest thing is like I have this belief that I always get exactly what I came for in every coaching container, retreat, room, coach, anything. I have the belief that I always get what I came for. And I love believing that because it's just a really fucking powerful thing to believe, but it also reminds me that I am always in charge of my experience. And if that's true, then I always get what I came for. And sometimes what I think I'm going into a room for is different than what I leave with. And I think that's when you know something really fucking magical happened. So, what I want to also sidebar really quick on is my husband Dan has not had a coach before. Like he has done a ton of personal growth work on his own. I was talking to the group about this when we were in Denver last week, is like he actually started doing his own personal growth work long before I did. Like he was doing courses and I mean, if this is going to age us, but you guys, like he used to receive like sets of DVDs or I don't even know, CDs that I think he would play in his car that were all personal growth work with all of these workbooks and all of these prompts and different exercises. And I remember him even offering for me to do something with him. And I was like, no, I'm good. So, I think that was probably 10 years ago, at least, maybe more, that he was doing those things. And here I am, like fully immersed in this world now, which is just so wild. But all of this to say, he's done a ton of his own work. He's done some therapy, like he's done a lot of work on himself, but he's never had a coach. And he certainly has never been in a room with a bunch of coaches. And so he was super uncomfortable, but oh my God, you guys, like he changed his life last week. And watching him work through the discomfort and be so honest about it. I think that's what like blew my mind the most is he was like, I am uncomfortable, but like he came and he was there. He said yes to it, I think for me, but then he realized like he got so much out of it and he like released some really powerful shit and honestly, I think he agrees that nothing will ever be the same after last week. So sidebar on that is I have so many women that come into my world and they're doing the work and they're like, I just wish that my husband or my friend, whoever, my sister, my mom, whatever, would try something like this. And I just want to remind you that if you just keep doing your work and you stay focused on your journey, they tend to come around. And it's a really fun thing that I get to witness a lot, not just within my marriage, but in my clients' lives, is that the more we keep moving, the more likely it is that our partners or other people that we do life with will also get on board if it feels right for them. And so it was just such a gift that he was willing to go and do this with and for me, but he also opened himself up and received so much and was able to pour out to the group. And like, it was really, really incredible. But coming out of this, I'm laughing now because I'm like, what did I leave with? I left with the realization that I'm still not fully feeling my feelings. So that was fun. I coach on this all the time. I'm coaching other women all the time. Is like, what if you just let yourself feel it? And what I learned or realized when I was there is I have a real quick moment where I let myself feel it and then I move quickly on to the next thing. And I think that so often the magic actually comes when we slow down and let ourselves process different emotions. And I left with the realization that so often, because of this work, I'm quick to coach myself through things, or I get coaching on things. And that allows me to stay out of the discomfort of feeling my feelings at a really deep level and actually letting them move me. Remember, emotion is energy in motion. And when we stop ourselves from feeling, we're stopping the movement that can come with feeling our feelings. And so as I do that, sure, I pause and like say I'm disappointed about something. I will pause and feel the feeling for a moment, and then I will walk myself through coaching where I will jump to gratitude or I will jump to what else might be true. And so it was really powerful to see that if I just gave myself a little bit more time and space to feel maybe those harder, more uncomfortable feelings, I'm actually going to move in a way that I haven't moved before. And this sounds pretty simple as I say it now, but it was a really big breakthrough for me because I realized that this is my block. This is my block to my next level in my life. This is my block to my next level in my business. This is my block to my next level in my marriage and in my parenting and in my friendships and my relationships and my future is in order to move where I want to go, I have to let my feelings move me. And gosh, I still have so much to process and so much to learn from this, but I can already see how it's going to change the trajectory of where I'm going. Because if I am quick to jump to gratitude instead of letting myself feel what is really true for me, there are a lot of areas where I'm going to stay the same or settle because I can always find the good in what is. And so, as I was talking about what I really want, I realized what's stopping me from what I really want is I am like almost forcing myself to love what is so much that I'm not moving in different directions and I'm not moving towards like the quantum growth that I know that I want for my life. And when I realized like what a disservice this could be for my clients and for the people that I do life with, for my husband, for my kids, that I'm blocking myself from my next level in so many different areas because I haven't been fully willing to feel and stay in the feelings, letting them actually move me. I realize like I'm blocking myself, which means I'm blocking them. And so I have some really uncomfortable decisions to make over the next few months, and I have some big things that I want to do. And so I'm going to be taking space. I'm going to be actually carving out time to feel the discomfort as I walk towards these new and different things in my life and in my business and in all of the containers, because this is the path. the path to where I'm going is going to require me to feel things at a whole new level. And man, I like feel the tension. I'm like, okay, I can already feel like I'm going to have some resistance to this, but I also am already feeling myself crack open in a new way that I haven't been willing to before. And so I feel so deeply grateful that I put myself in this room where this truth was able to rise up. And man, I bawled my face off, you guys. Like realizing this, that I block myself from even crying a lot and just letting myself feel disappointed when things don't go the way I thought they were going to in any area of my life. Like thoughts that I have had that I've been carrying with me for a while that I just kind of dismiss because I shift myself to abundance and gratitude so quickly. It was really, really powerful. And the cool thing is because I'm able to hold space for the other people that were in the room, they reflected back to me that as a coach, I always walk people towards their feelings. I always walk them towards like, are you sure you've let yourself feel that discomfort? Because if we don't feel it, it's going to be the thing that holds you back. And so to have someone mirror that to me so that I could see that that is my exact work was really just so beautiful and so powerful. And so I'm so excited to see what comes from it. I'm so excited to see what happens now that I'm going to really, really find safety in and take space to deeply feel my entire experience. I think that my emotional range, I talk a lot about like depth equals expansion. And when you think about that, like that means we've got to be willing to feel the big emotions, the big lower level emotions, so that we can feel the really high vibe emotions as well. And so I'm really excited to just expand my emotional range and see what comes of it and see what transpires over the next. I keep imagining we're actually going to get together again in 6 months. And I'm like, I cannot wait to see what comes in the next 6 months because of this breakthrough, because I actually really processed some old beliefs while we were in that room, and I really feel like I left them behind. And because I was willing to feel them, I really think they are going to move me into a whole new realm that I may not have been available for a long time if this breakthrough hadn't happened. And so the real message here, I always want to share, I want to be vulnerable and transparent about what I'm working on and about what happened in that room. But the real message here is the power of getting yourself in the room, the power of being willing to say yes to things that stretch you, the power of doing things that are uncomfortable for the sake of your future self. Like, this is when I get so emotionally like, ugh, attached to the fact that like we get this one shot. And I will share, I mean, I am grappling with all sorts of different beliefs about our soul and how, do we have multiple lives and all of these things. But ultimately, I get this one shot to live this one life. And I keep imagining like, gosh, there's a future version of me. And I actually spend a lot of time with her. I spend a lot of time with future versions of me. And I particularly love like my 88-year-old self. I think she's just like a total badass that doesn't give any fucks about what anybody thinks. And she's dancing all the time. And she's just the life of the party as her most authentic self. And I work to channel her all the time. But when I imagine her looking back, she was like with me in that moment of like, girl, just let yourself feel it. This is the path. Like feeling your feelings at the deepest level is the path. It is what moves you forward on the path. And so I just like feel her cheering so loud for me. And I'm just so grateful. So the message is this: feel your feelings. Get yourself in the freaking room. If you are feeling called to your next level, find a room. Like I've got lots of options for you, and there are millions of other incredible rooms that you can put yourself in as well. But put yourself in a room that stretches you, that allows you to grow, that will bring things to the surface that are going to lead you to your next version of you, which is always really just this deep returning back to our truest, most authentic self. But it feels like a becoming, right? Because I changed last week. I will never be the same because I was willing to put myself in that room. So put yourself in the room. If you are listening to this podcast, you are craving something different. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to it. And so find a room to put yourself in that is going to allow you to grow and stretch and expand and is going to hold space for you while you feel what feels really true and let it move you. Because when you do, nothing will ever be the same in the most incredible ways. All right, I'm going to sign off with that. I'm sending you so much love. Reach out if this resonates with you. If you want to talk about coaching, I'm here. If I can't serve you, I will always help you find someone that can. Like I am a huge advocate for helping you find the type of support that you need in this season. And I will always, always, always do my best to do that. So I love you guys so much. I'm sending you so much love and so much gratitude. And I will see you in the next episode.